Hi, and welcome to the SuccessPaTh show, where Christian business owners share their tips for success to show you how to succeed more effectively with your kingdom goals. I'm your host, Violet, and I have a very special guest with me. She's a wonderful lady. I'm so looking forward to you hearing her story and what God has been doing in her life. Her name is Sue Sundstrom, and Sue is the author of Purpose, God's Plan, Your Adventure, and Afternoon Tea with the Moon. She's a book coach and an online business consultant who is passionate about empowering women of faith to break out of fear, procrastination, and self-doubt to fulfill their dream to write a book and live their God-given purpose. She's a lover of great coffee. Friends, please pray for her. She's also a lover of the Word of God. Yay! Lover of her husband and two teenage boys. And they live together in Surrey, England, along with their cockapoo, Chocolate, which I found out is actually a dog. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. It's a dog, a mixture between a cocker spaniel and a poodle.
How cute. So Sue, go ahead and share with us today.
Hi, Violet. First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's so nice to connect with you, and I'm delighted to be here. And yes, as Violet said, I am a book coach, I'm an author, and I'm passionate about empowering people, especially to write that book dream and get the book that's in their heart out into the world. Because for many people, it's been months and years that they've wanted to do it and they just haven't been able to. And to tell you a little bit about my story, because this is all about entrepreneurship and succeeding as an entrepreneur. I failed for 13 years trying to be an entrepreneur. And I first tried a business 13 years ago, actually it was 14 years ago now, and it just didn't work out. And I put my all into it, and it was so disappointing at the time. And I still made multiple attempts over the years after that, between 2007 and 2020. But I just couldn't seem to build a sustainable income with any business that I tried. So I would get a few clients here and there. I would make a few sales. I knew I could help people because the clients that I did have, I was able to really help them and they got great results. But I just didn't have the marketing know-how and just didn't have all the knowledge I felt that was needed, and also the confidence to really get it going and get a regular income coming in from a business. So I found myself in 2019 at a point where my husband and I needed me to bring in more income. I had been a life coach and not making enough money. And so I decided to go back to full-time work in 2019. And so I did that. And even though it was a good job, it wasn't that fulfilling. And so I'm sure a lot of you probably find yourselves in that place possibly as well, where you are working because you have to, but it's not really your passion. It's not really fulfilling you, and you really want to make this entrepreneur thing work. And then I came across my current mentor, and through the power of challenges, I discovered this marketing method that actually really worked for me. And I went from scratch, starting a book, sorry, not a book, a business again from scratch. And in the first month, I made $1,950 and I got 4 clients. And that's probably the most number of clients I'd ever got in one go. Before that, I think 3 was the most number that I'd got at once. And literally,
so you broke your record.
Yeah, straight away. So over a weekend, in making my offer, I got 4 clients. I then went on the very next month, so 2 months in, to make $5,800 and got probably about another 15 clients. And so by that point, I realized that I could actually quit my job. So after only 2 months of really gaining the know-how and the marketing that I needed to make this business happen, I quit my full-time job and I've replaced my salary. And I've gone on just from strength to strength ever since then. That was last year, middle of last year. And within 10 months, I had 70 clients, 70 clients, coaching clients. And I've now got 80 plus. And from January, I started hitting 5-figure months. And that was, again, that was for the first time in my life to be hitting 5-figure sales months. And last month, I reached $16.4 thousand in sales. And so I'm now at a place where I'm regularly doing 5-figure months. I've done it 3 times now. And so I'm confident that that will just continue and actually probably even increase from there. You know, I've got my sight on the $1 million goal now, but
Yes.
it's just incredible. And what God has done in my life is so, so incredible. And one of the main things he did was he healed me from disappointment last year. And I was in a coaching call with my mentor, and literally God started doing a work in my heart, and he was touching my heart, and I realized that he healed me. He literally caused disappointment just to leave my heart. It was like it was surgically removed by the Holy Spirit, and it just left. And it gave me such enthusiasm again, and confidence again, and momentum again to really, really take action. And because I took massive action and finally believed I could do it again, it worked. It really, really worked. And so I'm so grateful today that God has allowed me to now have a business that I love, that truly fulfills me, and I get paid to do what I love. And I'm seeing people's lives change and people's lives impacted. And that's what I've always wanted. I've just always wanted to change other people's lives and help other people and empower other people. And now I get to do that, and I get paid every month to do that. So I say all that just to really encourage you. If you are still in the place where you're feeling like you're struggling, you're still in the place where you feel like you've tried and tried and tried for ages and you're still not succeeding in business, because I can tell you, you know, I tried just about everything when it comes to marketing, and I tried, as I say, for 13 years. And I did a website, I did online summits, I tried email campaigns, Black Friday sales, referrals, networking, going to events, learning from various mentors, you know, just one mentor after another, one program after another. And yet it just didn't work. It didn't work until finally it worked. And so the number one thing I want to say to all of you who are listening is do not give up. Do not give up. And sometimes everything that you've been through and everything that was hard and everything that didn't work can be just the stepping stone to when you actually do succeed. All of it is actually not a waste. It's not a waste. Every program you've bought, every mentor that you've listened to, everything that you've learned and tried is learning for you. It's taking you just that one step forward and that next step forward until you actually will succeed. And there's an analogy I've heard from Joyce Meyer, actually, which I absolutely love. And she talks about a rock and how you can hit a rock 99 times and it can be hit, and there'll be no evidence whatsoever that anything has changed with that rock, not even a crack. And then suddenly you hit it for the 100th time and the entire thing shatters and breaks. And that is what it can be like, where you've been hitting that rock again and again and again. You're seeing no results. You're seeing nothing seeming to change. And then suddenly, if you just decide you're going to give it that one more shot, you're just going to keep going, you're just going to try again, you are going to get to that number 100. You are going to get to that point where you hit that rock and it just, every problem, every obstacle, every failure will shatter in pieces, and you will find yourself on the other end of success. And so I've learned in my journey is that there are probably, I think, 4 to 5 things that I would say that I would identify. Let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 that I've put together that I think cause people to fail. And so obviously the opposite of that, if you don't do that, then you're going to succeed. And number 1 is lack of vision. So people who don't have vision, if you don't know what you want, then no one can help you get it. You have to know what you want. And maybe you've been disappointed so much that you're afraid to dream again. You're afraid to have vision again. And if that's you, I want to encourage you. You've got to dream again. You've got to not let go of hope. Even if you've been disappointed in the past, you've got to allow yourself to dream again. You've got to allow yourself to believe that your dreams really can come to pass, because they really do. I'm living proof.
Yes, hallelujah.
And it makes me emotional. I'm living proof that those dreams can come to pass. I mean, I had times when I actually asked God, I said, God, is this dream of you? Because it's taken so long. Is this really of you, or is this just a pipe dream? Is this just me wanting this? And yet it was just a desire that never went away. And if you've got that desire that just never seems to go away, then yes, God has put that desire in you. And it means that you're going to get there. It means that you're designed to do this. It's part of your call. It's part of your purpose. The only people who fail are the people who quit, the people who give up, and give up just before their breakthrough. And so it starts, and a number of these things that I'm going to talk about overlap. So it starts with vision. If you don't have vision, then do it today. Write down today, what do you want? What kind of business do you want? What kind of people do you want to work with? What kind of lifestyle do you want? What amount of money do you want to make? What do you love doing, and what would you love doing and being paid to do? Just have a vision for your life and hold on to it, have it written down. Do you know the people who have written goals are far more likely to achieve them? Only 3% of people write down their goals, which is very sad. But literally the act of writing down your goals means you are far more likely to achieve them. So a lack of vision means you perish. I mean, the Bible says, where there's lack of vision, the people perish. Or another version says cast off restraint. And that's the thing about vision, is it gives you restraints, like a horse with blinkers. When you have vision, when you know where you want to go, then you are far more able to shut out the things that are going to take you elsewhere. The opportunities, the distractions, the people, other people's plans that will pull you in all sorts of different directions. When you have vision, then it's like a restraint that you can put on, and you will get there further, faster, because you're way more focused. And that pretty much leads me to my next point of why people fail, and is lack of focus. And I see this so much, and I see this in business communities I'm in, and I see this outside of business communities. I see this in my church. I see this in people I'm mixed with. Is just complete lack of focus. People are so distracted, and we live in such a distracted age. It's very easy to get distracted with social media, with Netflix, with Amazon Prime, with the news, with opportunity after opportunity, with shiny object after shiny object. We can get so distracted. And I've incorporated something I call just-in-time learning. And it's something that I learned from Pat Flynn, the smart passive income guy.
Yeah.
And he's great. And what it is, oh, does he? Yeah. And what it is basically a lot of people consume rather than create. So they literally just learn. They consume content, and they think that by doing that, that's somehow going to get them somewhere. But if you don't ever take action on what you're consuming, you're going to get nowhere. And the thing is, a lot of what we learn, if you're in a seminar and you are listening in a seminar, literally 2 to 3 days later, you will have forgotten around 80% of what you heard in that seminar. Yeah. And if you write it down, I think the percentage goes up a little bit. but it's still around 20% that you actually retain. So that means you really should be listening and re-listening and re-listening to things that you're wanting to learn in order to actually get them in. The other thing is you need to be taking action on them straight away. And that's how you'll cement the learning. And that's how you'll obviously make the most of it. So the thing is with just-in-time learning, what you want to do is you don't just want to consume content, because if you do that, you're going to forget 80% of it. And if you haven't even acted on it, then all you've done is actually waste 2 hours of your time learning something that you've now forgotten and you've not implemented. So with just-in-time learning, literally only learn what's going to take you towards the goals that you want to accomplish now in the next month, and nothing else. So that means forget every shiny object that comes your way. Forget, oh yes, let me just learn how to do a podcast, and oh, let me also learn how to build my Instagram audience, and oh, let me also learn how to do a challenge, and let me also learn how to, you know, interview other people. Whatever it is, you can't do that. If you try and do that, you try and learn all those 4 different things all at once, you're not going to have time to implement them all. So you're going to forget most of it. And as I say, you just wasted your time trying to learn it. So decide on your main 1 to 3 goals for the next month and the next 90 days, no more than 3. If you have more than 3 goals, you will fail. So have no more than 3 main goals, and 1 is even better. And then ask yourself, what do I need to learn to accomplish that 1 goal? And then go learn that and then implement it. And then if there's something else you need to learn to accomplish that goal, go learn that and then implement it. And that way you're doing just-in-time learning. You're only learning what you need to accomplish your goals, and it's getting you there much, much faster.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, especially with entrepreneurship, because you're like, well, what am I supposed to focus on Facebook and LinkedIn and, you know, write my book and do the summit?
Exactly. And the thing is also, I just want to speak to the whole sort of failure thing. You know, if you feel like a failure because you've tried something, it didn't work. And I'm sure you've heard the saying that failure is feedback. And we've got to take the mentality that we don't own the failure. You are not a failure. I tried and struggled for 13 years, but it didn't mean I wasn't it didn't mean I was a failure. I was not a failure. I just hadn't found what had worked yet. I hadn't found that thing that worked. And also, I guess I had to have accumulated learning that piece by piece by piece was helping me reach that point of success, because to succeed in business does take a number of things. It takes some personal development. It takes mindset. It takes some people skills. It takes some sales skills, some marketing skills, online understanding, you know, knowledge of your craft. It takes a number of pieces. So it might take just that time to put all those pieces together, but it doesn't mean that you're not getting there, and it doesn't mean that you're a failure because you haven't got there yet. And so we've got to take the attitude that I am not a failure. Failure is just feedback, and almost depersonalize it. When you attempt something, maybe a sales campaign that doesn't work, step away from it and look at it objectively and just distance yourself from it and look at it and go, okay, what can I learn from this? What went well and what didn't go well? And what is maybe one key thing? What's the one thing that will most move the needle towards this being more successful next time? And so what is that one thing that I can work on? So maybe it's email copy. So maybe that was a part of the campaign, was sending out emails. So maybe that's the one thing that you're now going to work on improving. And we're going to work on improving my subject titles and my emails so that they get greater open rate. And then once I've done that, then maybe I'm going to work on my sales skills so that when I make my offer, I do it better. And so you take a mathematical approach. And when I, as you know, I run challenges, I run a lot of challenges, and there's a number of elements to challenges. And when I run one, I take a mathematical approach to it. So I look at, how did my offer go? How did the content go? How did it go with the advert and bringing people in? How did the conversion go in terms of the number of people who visited the website versus the number of people who opted in and joined? And then when I look at that, I say, okay, which part of that do I want to improve for next time? Okay, maybe I'm going to improve my group offer. So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on being better with my group offer, and I'm going to practice it more. And that's the one piece that I'm going to work on for the next challenge. And then after that, then the challenge after that, then maybe I'll work on the conversion of the number of people coming in versus the number of people opting in. Okay, why are only a certain number of them opting in? How can I make it more exciting for them that they really want to enjoy, and what can I add, and who can I learn from in order to know how to improve it? So you're looking at it from a distance point of view. You're not putting yourself into it emotionally. I'm a failure, this was awful, this is never going to work again, getting all those lies in your head that are making you want to give up. You just step back from it as though you were evaluating someone else's piece of work. And when you do that, you'll be in a much better position to look at it objectively and see how you can improve and what you can do better next time.
Yeah. I think that makes a big difference, because once you put a label on your identity, you live into that identity.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, lack of belief in ourselves is a big reason why people actually end up not succeeding, is simply because they no longer believe in themselves, because you failed. And so you think, I can't do this. And so before you are ever going to succeed, you have to change that script in your head of, no, I can do this, I just haven't succeeded yet. And I remember one mentor, who really just changed my mindset, because she said that she decided, actually she looked at another mentor who was succeeding in business, who she decided she was going to learn from. She looked at how much they were making. They were making 1 million, I think, or more probably, but at least 1 million. And she was working at JCPenney's, and she was making, I think, $20,000 a year or $30,000 a year. And so she said to herself, based on a failure equation, I decided that I was going to go for it, and I was going to learn from this mentor and believe that I could succeed. And I decided that if I failed them and their results 90%, I would still make more than I was making now at JCPenney's. So she would make 100,000, right? She would make 100,000 a year if she failed that mentor's results by 90%. So that meant she only needed to learn 10% of what he knew to get what he was getting, and she could make 100,000. And then the other thing she said was, I asked myself, if it took 20 years to figure this out, would it not be worth it? And of course it would. If it takes you 20 years to figure out how to succeed at business, but then at the end of it, you have a business that you could pass on to your children, you have a business that generates an income that pays for your retirement, and that continues to generate an income in your retirement, would it not be worth it? Of course it would. It would be worth it. So why do we put this deadline on it? If I don't succeed in a year, then I'm going to give up. I'm not going to try anymore. We can't do that. We got to just keep going. Got to just keep going and keep trying, and knowing that you will get there. Just
even if you have to do it part-time. And so we have about 5 minutes left. So were there any other points that you wanted to cover before we start wrapping up and tell them about your offer?
Yeah, sure. Okay, yes. In terms of my offer, I would love to give a free copy, digital copy of my book, Purpose, God's Plan, Your Adventure. And just to encourage you, what's in that book is not only some keys in how to find your purpose if you're not sure, but if you already know it, also go into a lot of, again, mindset in the area of purpose. So how to really navigate whatever season you're in, and how to have the perseverance to just keep going until you actually reach your purpose. So I talk about perseverance in it. There's some great stories in there, not only my stories, but other people's inspiring stories of how they persevered and what they overcame. And then just some other keys to staying in the process and successfully fulfilling God's purpose for your life. So I'd like to give a free digital copy of that, and you can get it by going to www.purposebook.co.uk.
Wonderful. And we'll put that link in the description. And also, Sue, how can people connect with you? What is your favorite social media platform?
Oh, well, both Facebook and Instagram, I'd say. So Facebook is SueSundstrom.com. So it's literally D-O-T, SueSundstrom.com. But if you just search Sue Sundstrom, you could find me on Facebook. And then Instagram is Sue_Sundstrom.
Yeah. And when you gave me the name of it, I was like, did she make a mistake here? Let me make sure. And it's actually spelled out, SueSundstrom.com. That's awesome. Yes, and I'm sure that book will be of great benefit to everybody. It sounds like it would be very encouraging. Not just that, but it also reinforces the points that you made about what you were talking about, because those things are really important. And some people, they focus a lot on the strategies or on the skills, on the technology, but the mindset is huge. And it sounds like it's a very encouraging book for the audience. And if you want to see more content like this and find out more success secrets of those people that are doing just amazing things, that God is doing such amazing things through their lives, and they're not just doing great financially, like Sue has done several 5-figure months, but the impact that these business people are having for their clients, because these clients have dreams, and through these businesses, those dreams are being fulfilled. So thank you, Sue, for sticking it out, for trying again, for not giving up on yourself. I admire you so much, and I appreciate you sharing your story. Please leave your biggest takeaway down below so we can share it with Sue, and subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and click subscribe so that we can give you more content like this in the future. We thank you so much for being here. Sue, any last words?
Just keep going. I just want to say I believe in you. There's gold in everybody, and so there's gold in you. You have got special gifts and talents, and the world needs them. So don't give up on getting them out into the world and impacting people.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. We love you, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you, Violet. Bye.